What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to the channel. Before we get into this, please make sure you subscribe. If you're new here, my name is Izzy and I'm a journalist, and I make videos here on YouTube where I visit different animal shelters. I speak to them about the work they do, but also raising awareness on different topics and issues, and speaking about the challenges that they face day to day. I also speak to different charities and organisations about how they help animals change people's lives. This can be from hearing dogs to guide dogs to animal assisted therapy. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy this, and let's find out where we are off to today. So today we are back in Shropshire again. Shropshire's killing it at the moment with all these shelters. We're off to the Shropshire Cat Rescue today. It was set up by a lady called Marion about 34 years ago, but prior to that she was always working with cats and in cat welfare, rescuing and rehoming them. So I'm really interested to find out a bit more about the work she does and the things that she wants to raise awareness on when it comes to cats. So yeah, without further ado, let's head there now and find out a little bit more. Hello, Alistair. Hello. So I'm here at the Shropshire Cat Rescue, and this is Johnny. He's been here for a couple of years now. We're going to find out a little bit more about his story, as well as the work here that everyone does. Wonderful in there. So tell me all about where the shelter all started.
The Shropshire Cat Rescue was actually born, if you like, probably about 34 years ago. But prior to that, I was also working with cats and welfare, animal welfare. So I've probably been doing it for 42 years, something like that now. And Shropshire Cat Rescue came about when I always remember the date because I was pregnant with my second son, and it was the amalgamation of a couple of different small charities, and we joined together, and then they were trying to come up with a name, and I said, Shropshire Cat Rescue, it sounds ever so big, because back in those days we were very, very tiny, because there was no social media.
And what is the main ethos here and what you stand for?
It's all about animal welfare, and I suppose our ethos has not changed, but it's certainly become more inclusive of the humans that are involved as well. So I just want animals and people to be able to work together and to live in harmony. And so if people come here and they've got confidence issues or mental health issues, which a lot do have, then they get the benefit from the cats, and the cats get the benefit from people, and it's a win-win holistic situation really that can only breed positivity. So it's a lovely setting, and people always say it's always so calm and so peaceful. It's a lovely atmosphere, and the animals, they're all so grateful for what we can give, and the people are also grateful for what they gain from the animals.
And what topics and issues would you like to raise awareness on when it comes to cats?
The most important thing that we can say at this stage is the importance of getting your cat neutered. And I appreciate that with the cost of living crisis and the growing veterinary costs, that's not even possible for some people, especially this time of year. But we would say, please don't go out and get yourself a small kitten unless you have got the financial ability to pay for it to be neutered, and also pay for any veterinary care that may be needed in the future. Far better to go to a shelter and take on perhaps an adult cat for the same cost, at the adoption cost, but then you've got a cat that's already neutered. And that would certainly make a lot of sense, because with the weather being so mild at the moment, we are seeing a massive increase in the number of kittens that are still being born, because the tomcats are busy out there doing their thing, and they really won't stop until the weather forbids them from going out there and doing their thing. So neutering is important. If you can't afford, if you honestly don't think you can afford the cost of neutering, do not embark on the journey of getting a kitten. And I know it seems unfair, and it is unfair, but really the shelters can't cope anymore. So if you end up with a litter of kittens, and then the kittens have litters of kittens each, you're creating a huge problem which could be prevented at this stage just by thinking it through.
And you've got an appeal going on at the moment. Tell me about that.
So we've recently had our help us raise money for our new roof appeal, which has been fantastically supported, and that has enabled us to hang on to some of that money so that we can use it on some much needed cat operations that have come forward. But our appeal really has to be for feral cat colonies, so donations of cat food, or better still, if you've got any spare cash and can send us a donation of money, that would be so appreciated. And as I said, the cats at the shelter are doing fine. It's all the cats out there that we are trying to support, and in particular the feral colonies, which seem to have increased, especially since COVID.
And finally, what are the hopes for the future here?
So we do have plans for the future, and we call it our PUR project, which stands for Plan for Ultimate Rescue Relocation. Bit of a mouthful, but it sounds good when you say PUR project. And the PUR project is all about trying to find bigger premises, so something very similar to what we've got, and not too far away, because we can't afford to lose our wonderful volunteers or our current wonderful vets. So somewhere in the vicinity, we are looking for about 5 acres of land, a not too big a house that we can use for offices, and that will then enable the cats to have their forever home, because this is all set up in my back garden, and and time's going on, and I really do feel this charity's all grown up now and it needs its own place to live.
With everyone. Who do we have here?
So this is Johnny. Johnny is a 4-year-old male. He came to us from another rescue shelter, but he'd been kept in a bedroom. And unfortunately, because Johnny is deaf and blind and has neurological issues, he was starting to get very frustrated at being kept in a single room. And so they had seen a video of our retirement village initially on YouTube and thought, oh, that'd be a lovely place for him. Unfortunately, though, it wasn't a lovely place for him, because he was overwhelmed by all the smells and the other cats. He just did not work out at all. So we had to do a quick fundraiser and managed to build this lovely kingdom for Johnny, and he has a castle as well in the corner there. And this is where he lives, and he really is a happy cat. He doesn't just live in here. He gets taken for walks regularly, or he takes us for walks. That's the instruction to the volunteers anyway. So he's a lovely, lovely boy. Everybody's very, very fond of him. But you do have to be careful, because he can't see or hear. He does use his claws in order to give himself that stability. So he does come with a bit of a health and safety warning.
Hello, Pip. Thank you.
And along the bottom is